SEO versus GEO, that is Generative Engine Optimization in 2025. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and in this video, we're going to be walking through the differences between GEO and SEO as it relates to websites, not Amazon in this particular video. And the reason I'm doing this is, first of all, there is no way to optimize for GEO on Amazon. Let's establish that first. Anybody that claims otherwise, show me your proof. But on a website, there is. And so let's first define this, and I went ahead and used AI to define this. So GEO, optimization strategies, center on making content conversational, precise, and easy for AI models to summarize or quote. So back in the day, SEO was about discoverability, keyword stuffing, meta tags, alt text, and site structures like schema markup and stuff like that, URLs and backlinks. So it's actually easier to rank for GEO because it's less technical, according to this. However, the implementation of GEO requires more thought than is currently being used today. So this video will kind of go through some of those thought processes and what you need to do and update it. I also have my website run through to question how good it's doing on GEO, and we'll walk through that as well. So the structured sections in a question answer format, because people have a lot of questions, and if you have the exact question that a customer is asking and then you answer it right on your website, chances are the AI tool is going to know that, pick it up and provide it and quote it. So in the day and age of Q&A, there's a very large need for structured Q&A sections, FAQs, if you will. So that's like the really big thing that I'm picking up on here. Context for generative engines, so direct scannable answers backed by verified facts, organize information clearly, adopting FAQ or H2, H3 headers to aid extraction. So anything that's in a header is basically signaling, hey, this is more important. Now that's actually pretty much the same as SEO for GEO. So I don't know why you would do this any differently, but what you might put in that H2 tag might be different in 2025, a la in 2024, you might have put a keyword, and today you might put a Q&A instead. So comprehensive coverage demonstrates expertise to help AI models surface your content. So you're trying to become an expert to the engine, why it should pick up your content first. Now, in my opinion today, when you go and search online, it's not about who's the biggest expert so far. It's instead like 36% Reddit, 25% Wikipedia. And so those guys are not the experts. Those are just where people hang out and talk about stuff, right? And you know, back in the day, your librarian was like, can't use Wikipedia, you know, that's not reliable. And, you know, sidestepping the censorship and the control of information conversation for just a minute. But these platforms do have a lot of traffic, and we're seeing the engines, the GEOs, pick up them more than anything else. So we've seen the pie charts, we've seen the data. The GEOs are using Reddit and Wikipedia 1 out of 2 for everything. So it's incredibly large impact. Now, the other thing that I've personally noticed is that the GEOs are also picking up on what's already ranking in SEO, which is kind of a lazy shortcut, right? Well, if Google says it's important, then it must be important for my AI. So when you use a tool like Perplexity, what I frequently see, and you guys could test this yourself, right? I always like you can test this yourself hypothesis scientific method, that the top 3 SEO results are almost always quoted by the GEO. So if you're ranked number 1 for something, the GEO, like Perplexity, is going to use your result first. That's what I've typically seen with very little changes to that. And we're seeing Reddit's already ranking really well. We already see Wikipedia rank really well. But they're being over-indexed versus your regular run-of-the-mill websites right now. Now, I have personally adopted Perplexity's Comet, and if you haven't tested that out, I do recommend go download Comet Perplexity. There is a short wait list to get into that. I think it took me 2 or 3 days before I got into the beta, but it is incredible. So anytime I type into a search box right now, so let's say I want to see like GEO versus SEO like that, it instead pulls up Perplexity and starts extrapolating the information right here versus going to Google directly. And then it also allows you to have the engine with you as you're going through pages to summarize them, and a bunch of other cool add-ons, which I won't go in today's video, but I just want to say that like if you're trying to catch up on AI, this is the fastest way to do it. Just go download Perplexity AI. Comet web browser. It is as good as Chrome, and if not better. And if you didn't see the news, Perplexity offered like $36 billion to Google to purchase Chrome. Perplexity Comet is based on the Chromium web browsers. So I'm never going to go back to Chrome after this. My only complaint is it's not on mobile yet, because I really wanted to have everything in one ecosystem. Not quite ready for that, unfortunately. All right, so we're gonna do a little test here. So I'm gonna go over to Google and type in Amazon agency. You guys are all welcome to do the same thing, see if you get the same results. The stuff up here is just specific to my login because we're running some Google ads, so we can ignore that. That's not what you'll see. But what you should see is the #1 organic results is my Amazon guy. So we do typically, and this isn't gonna be true for every single person that searches this, you'll see some variation, but by and large, 9 out of 10 of you probably are gonna see my Amazon guy come up #1 when you search Amazon agency on Google, which is great for me, obviously, because it means I am #1 in SEO for the #1 search term that's relatable for somebody trying to find an Amazon agency. So I think it's like 900,000 people a month search this. Those are going to be high value targets for my company, right? So I'm proud to say we're #1 here. We're outranking Amazon's agency list and all that cool stuff, which is great. So the question then becomes, if I go into AI, which websites are going to show up when we search in Perplexity? And by and large, what do you see? My Amazon guy shows up #1 at the top. And that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that currently GEOs are often just taking the current SEO results, especially that #1 results, and using that as a way to address it in the GEO. So we've seen this increasing in my sales calls with potential prospects where we ask them, how did you find out about my Amazon guy? Well, if we asked this question 2 years ago, it'd be like 60% of them would say YouTube. Like 10% would say LinkedIn, right? Well, today, GEO is where we're hearing people say. It's like 40% GEO. It's like growing. It's a huge growing sector. So customer adoption on search is very high with AI, and trying to find the best Amazon agency, or even just typing in Amazon agency, is going to show current SEO results, which is good news for me because I'm ranked #1. I'm showing up #1 in the GEO. So the reason I established this is because I wanted to show you guys this connection and to help delineate the differences between that. Now, it's very, it's kind of a new field to optimize for GEO. And in fact, I actually just got a DM on LinkedIn today from a guy that was saying, hey, we're now offering GEO services. We're not just an SEO firm anymore. And it seems like a lot of SEO firms are changing their pitch, changing their tune, and pushing into GEO like that. So now that we've done that, let's now go to ask the LLM, or the GEO, if you will, what is going well for my Amazon guy's website, and what could we do better to rank it for GEO? So as the world leader, I asked it to be the world leader on GEO. And then here's an evaluation of the website. So I took my website, myamazonguy.com, and here's 10 strengths. So clear service structure, got agencies for SEO plan, well organized, easy for AI models and users to reference. Scannable headers. We got H2 and H3 tags. I think most websites are going to pass that, so I think it's pretty weak on its part on assessing. Direct answers common Amazon seller pain points directly as your listing, not shown in search results. Is a format suitable for FAQ inclusion and AI summary. So a lot of people have that problem. Content depth provides detailed breakdowns of SEO phases and strategy, demonstrating expertise and trustworthiness. And what I'll probably note here is we're over-indexing on SEO content on my own website because we're the leading agency on Amazon SEO, so we spend a little too much time there, and we're not seeing as much time on PPC, which is actually what most people are purchasing when they hire an Amazon agency. And so that's like probably my biggest takeaway here when I'm using this engine to evaluate my website and what I could probably do better, because clearly the GEO thinks of my Amazon guy as very heavy on SEO, but not heavy enough on PPC to reference that in its own evaluation here. Now, it does do that if we ask it about my Amazon guy. So I'll show that real quick. So I'll just type in my Amazon guy and we can see what comes up. And it's going to give us all kinds of things like reviews, testimonials, and quick definitions of the company and who the CEO is. It's, we should see my name show up, which is great. It didn't in this particular instance, but it did for me like yesterday. So it shows holistic Amazon support, includes PPC advertising. Good. So I'm glad it's doing that. It's good. Proven results, 400 brands, 1.2 billion in annual revenue. These are all the things we'd want to see because that's quantifiable. It's quantitative, not just qualitative. Strong reviews, 4.6 rating on Trustpilot, 293 reviews, 4.8 star rating on Google, 84 reviews. Comprehensive services, right? And the reason I'm spending so much time here is not to be a giant ad, but it's to help you understand how the GEO is reading my website so we can help improve it, go to the next level. I'll also give this over to my team and tell them to do what's in this video, which is always a nice little add-on. How I make content a lot of the times is what's important to me right now. Well, this is important to me right now, so I'm gonna make content on it and then everybody will talk about it and we'll level it up even further. And then some guy watching this will be like, Steven, your video was great, but you missed this one thing. And then I'll learn that one thing. So a lot of times I make content, I learn things too, and it's really great about that. So for others out there, other agencies, other content creators, I recommend the way you create content is what problem are you working on right now? Just literally make it that easy. All right, so let's go back to what's going well. We include testimonials. We've got a big service list, like our drop-down nav, and I'll showcase this, is quite large, right? Here are the books I recommend in business. I just happen to have that as my autocomplete, myamazonguy.com/books. Some of the books like Transcending Levels of Consciousness, Elon Musk's book, Extreme Ownership, highly recommend. Traction, of course, all those good stuff. Power versus Force. But let's go to my top nav here. It's very large, right? I have probably the largest top nav in the entire Amazon service industry, and that's because we offer everything. We've got digital products, we've got SOPs, we've got full service, we've got a la carte, we've got coaching available, all these different resources. We're the Wikipedia of Amazon selling, which is also why I'm so well positioned on GEO today. It's because I have more content than the next top 20 Amazon agencies freaking combined, right? We got 2,600 videos on YouTube, for crying out loud. Like, name another agency that has 50. So like, there's just all these pieces of content I had this vision more than 8 years ago on how I was going to build this out, right? So this is not something that anybody else can replicate overnight. It's quite difficult. But these are some of the strengths that we have going for us because of those decisions made over years to make all that content, give away all of our free advice, right? Like, my SEO guide is available for free at myamazonguy.com/SEO, right? So like, we give away the exact play we use on our own clients, and everybody else can see all this content and available stuff, which is awesome. And of course, we've done that thousands of times. myamazonguy.com/PPC or design or any other topic, we've got it all covered. So all this content is in depth. And if somebody had a question about how to run a particular thing or how to do a certain thing, we have an answer to literally every Amazon topic on the internet. So frequent content updates. So we're talking about current things. So AI always wants to know how fresh is the signal. So I think that's really important. Authoritative branding, thought leadership is evident, company leadership, speaker invites, case studies, local and international reach. So we've got locations in 11 countries, broader geo context relevancy. So this won't just show up for people in the US. I'm over in the Philippines shooting this video. It's going to show up #1 in the Philippines as well. 10 things to improve though. So now let's get to the improvements. And this is what probably most people are going to be interested in. How do you improve your own website? Well, load it into the engine and ask it to tell you. Conversational FAQ format. So increase the number of question-based headers. So those H2 and H3 tags could be used as a question format, or how to make it easy. So that's going to make it easier for it to provide precise Q&A content. So it seems like most people are taking their searches by question, not by search term anymore. So that context will update. So if we go over to, let's go over to the website right now. And if we scroll down, it's kind of hard to put a question in the top, but it could be. So here's actually a question. Have great products, but sales are sluggish. We understand the struggle, and our Amazon agency is here to make it easier, right? So it doesn't answer that question, but it does proposition the problem. We got 2 CTAs here, grow your Amazon sales versus solve an Amazon problem, which is the 2 funnels that I put all customers into. 91% of people pick solve an Amazon problem, which is why I have so many a la carte services, because somebody that wants to solve a problem probably doesn't want to hire us for full time. But we do have like our master classes and upcoming information all posted here. Here's our testimonials or our kind of our big brand section. How our Amazon agency experts help you grow your brand. And we talk through PPC, SEO, design, platform management, and all the services there. But I'm wondering like where we could add a question. Like homepage question seems difficult to me. But we do have an FAQ section right here, like what is an Amazon agency? So if you're wondering how I ranked for the term Amazon agency, this is probably the secret sauce I'm giving away right now. And one of my competitors is going to come in and be like, "Oh, we got to add an FAQ page to our homepage." Yeah, you do. You're not going to outrank me at this point. I'm pretty confident of that. But this is how you could get to position 3 or 4 potentially. But showcasing all of these questions right here, I'm actually a little surprised that it's saying I could improve that further. So I'm wondering how. So I'm actually going to ask it. So there is an FAQ section on homepage. Does that, how could it be improved further? Or, your top suggestion said add more FAQs, how? So we'll see what it comes up with that. Let's go through some of these others while that populates. Entity clarity. Clearly describe your product brand and value in ways that make sense contextually for generative search, adding context-rich details even outside the usual keyword targets. I have no idea how to execute that based on the way it's written. So entity clarity. Give 5 examples of entity clarity and how to update my website. Let's see what comes up with that. So this is often how I use AI to go in bigger depth. So FAQ section is already there. How could I make it better? Convert Q&A into conversational direct language. Use a friendly, natural tone. What's the fastest way to rank on Amazon in 2025 versus a generic, how do you optimize product listings? Okay, so make it clickbaity. That's my translation, I guess. Expand questions with long tail search format. Include more detailed questions people would type or say to an AI, such as how can an Amazon agency help my business grow in Australia? So now we're talking not just geo, but geolocation. Can you explain Amazon's A10 algorithm in simple terms? Okay, so that's conversational. I kind of get that. Add quick answer summary. Start each answer with a bold 1 or 2 sentence summary before a detailed explanation, making it easier for AI tools to extract and quote the most relevant parts. So kind of like a TLDR section, if you will. So let's go over here. How do we optimize product listings on Amazon? Is pretty generic. I'll give you that. But we do have that 1 sentence summary on what we do. And that does answer it. I'm curious if we probably go a little too high on the SEO and design elements yet again. And I want more PPC structure in there. And maybe like how I would do that is put me at like on the hook. And after you got all that done, make sure you spend PPC to get the traffic built there. But we do have PPC sections like this going into PPC optimization, ACoS reduction, sales increases, traffic reporting, etc. So it is there. All right, so let's go back to FAQ. So regional experience, add locally target FAQs. Do you work with Amazon sellers in Central Visayas or Southeast Asia? What's unique about selling on Amazon in certain locations? GEO and SEO guidance. Add questions. So how is Amazon SEO different from traditional SEO? I think that's a great question. That is something we need an article on. So I'll go over to my team and have my team make article and blog post. Good one there. See, like this is a huge takeaway. So here's case in point. I'm working on content. I'm working on how to improve my own website. So I shoot a video to force myself to structurally like think through this. And then here I go. Here's my personal takeaway. I need to make an article that says literally that question. So this is how you could do the same thing for your own website as you're going through this. What is generative engine optimization GEO and how does it help Amazon sellers, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a great piece to go into. Link to deeper resources. After each answer, provide a learn more or watch video link or blog post or YouTube resource. That's an interesting thought. That's going to be pretty heavy or hurt page load time. If we did this, won't that hurt page load time affecting negative SEO? So I'm curious to see how it handles that. We'll go back up and keep reading some of these while that processes. Highlight case studies and answers. When possible, include real customer success stories directly with FAQ responses. For example, our client whole parts saw 200% growth after a listing overhaul. Okay, it's not really believable for me as a person, but I might test that. So it does say adding links doesn't affect page load speeds, just HTML with no significant extra weight. Okay, that's good to hear. And Google SEO best practice, linking relevant, deeper content improves user experience, recommended by Google. All right, we'll see. So plain anchor text like learn more, watch video. Okay, so I'm buying what it's selling there. All right, so give 5 examples of entity clarity and how to update my website. So product service spec. Current, we offer Amazon listing optimization. Improved, my Amazon guy is a full service Amazon agency specializing in listing optimization, A+ content, Amazon PPC campaign management, account reinstatement service for sellers worldwide. How to update, make each service page into unambiguous, use full name and explicit connections. Amazon listing optimization, not just optimization. So my translation to this is that's just keyword stuffing, right? That's no different than literally using the same giant keyword I'm trying to rank for and then repeatedly using it. So this is the struggle I have when big updates like this happen, right? Like, and GEO is a huge update, let's be clear. But like, it's the same thing reskinned. That's keyword stuffing. Like, tell me I'm wrong, guys. Like, is that not just another definition for keyword stuffing? Like, use the full contextual connection, explicit connection, Amazon listing optimization, not just optimization, and repeatedly using that? I don't know. Author and team experience. Our founder has years of experience. Improved. Stephen Pope, founder of My Amazon Guy, is an Amazon marketing expert with 15 years of experience. How to update. Update your about page and service footers to include full names and credential. All right, so let's go see where that is on the website. This is an interesting takeaway. I could probably see it. Control F, not seeing it anywhere here. So maybe it's on an About Us page or something. So let's go check that out. So I don't know where it's pulling that from. So let's see if it's smart enough to know which page or section is pulling from. Is it in FAQs? If so, which one? So sometimes I go down a little rabbit hole trying to find information. Hopefully this isn't one of the hallucinations we sometimes hear about the GEOs having, right? Like, all right, so it's primarily pulled from the About or Leadership section website. Okay, so that's where I was. I'm on the leadership. Where does it say Stephen Pope has years of experience? So it's Control F, no match. So I'm a little lost on that. But all right, we'll see if we can get that updated though. So one thing I really do like about our website, so we show the bio, and then right here we have read what Amazon Guy employees say like it's work to work for Stephen. So that is exactly what the GEO is saying to do, to show quantification, to show links to more information, people can read more, stuff like that. So we just saw that in real time right here with employee reviews. So these are actual employee stories, actual employee videos, work-life wins. We're helping Filipinos build houses. So somebody that was trying to study whether they would want to work here, this is the sort of page they're going to want to land on. And that will have a really big impact on people who are navigating it. So I think the GEO will give us a lot of credit for that, which is great. All right, so let me go back to, so I actually never did find that exact quote. It said it was on the About or Leadership page. I did not see it there. And in fact, in that section that I was on, I'll go back to it here, we literally are very specific with quantification and decade of experience in the corporate world before starting MAG, all that good stuff, Eagle Scout. So very, very highly specific information is available. So I'm a little curious. Here you can see it, 1.2 billion, 400 brands managed, 500 employees, very, very specific information. So sometimes the GEOs are a little lackluster on their analysis. I think that would be a case example of that. But let's keep going. You don't need to reject the whole thing if you're rejecting 80% of it, right? You can find that 20% nugget, kind of like I did with that article to go make earlier, to get some value out of this as part of this exercise. All right, so location and regional coverage, brand proposition. We help you grow on Amazon. Improve. My Amazon Guy delivers a proven Amazon growth strategy, custom SEO blueprints, weekly listing audits, 24 multilingual support, trusted by over 1,500 brands, from health supplements to electronics. I mean, I get it, maybe. But again, this is like, here's the marketing message. We help you grow on Amazon. That's what I want somebody to walk away after they go to my website, right? We help you grow on Amazon. Simple. This is like the keyword stuff version of that. So this is, again, it feels like another reskin. GEO is just still SEO reskinned in a fancier language with AI reference points. It's kind of the general feel I continue to have here. How to update, clearly state what makes you unique on the homepage, headline hero section, key landing page. I don't need to do that. People already know when they come to my homepage because they've watched the content where I say stuff like this. And I've helped people 50 times before they hire me in 50 different videos they've watched. Clear industry niche and client types. We help Amazon sellers. Yes. We help Amazon private label brands, wholesalers, and enterprise sellers with account management, creative optimization, brand registry support. All right, so some of this is a little sus, a little suspicious. I don't know I agree with half the things I've read today on the video, but that's part of the exercise, right? You have to take the logic and extrapolate out of it. But entity clarity, I get what it's trying to claim. I just don't agree with its assessment of my website. But at the end of the day, it's the GEO. And if I can't convince the GEO that my website does what I say it does, and it can't understand it, I still have to bend the knee and figure out how to update it and fix it to make it do those things. But I am very happy with how I'm showing up in GEO today, which is good. Could always be improved for sure, but I think that I have done a better job than it can potentially tell me how to improve. That's a good position to be. That means I'm ahead of the GEO right now on ranking for it because of the content depth our website has. So let me know what you guys think. This is just kind of my hot take video. I like to do hot take videos because you get to see my thinking process, and I know a lot of people value that because that thinking process helps you like get that aha moment. You get to go through that with me. Super helpful. So, and if you guys, by the way, we also offer GEO services for your own website. You want to hire the guy that ranked #1 for Amazon agency? Hire Stephen Pope at My Amazon Guy for your DTC needs. It is our fastest growing sector right now, which is why I made this video to help other people with their own website needs. We offer Google Ads, Meta, website overhauls, full design optimization, complete structure changes, SEO optimization, PPC in any format, whatever you need on DTC. So we're doing this because it's the biggest demand. Amazon FBA fees are up. People want to diversify. Nobody's going to leave Amazon anytime soon, but you want to have that backup ready in case your account gets suspended or you want to grow in another way and avoid, messing with Amazon 24/7. You don't want Amazon to be 95% of your sales anymore in 2025, and I get it. That's a scary feeling to have. So consider hiring us. Go to myamazonguy.com/book for a free sales consultation. We'll go in depth and talk to you about how we could help you with any service you need for your marketplace, Amazon, Walmart, or your website. My name again, Stephen Pope, founder of My Amazon Guy, my DTC guy, my Walmart guy, my Etsy guy. You name it, we do it. Thanks for watching.